Hello and welcome back to Norfolkfords. So this is just going to be one of my usual walk around and ramble videos. Just sort of catch up on what's going on. So at the minute we've got Simon and Mark. They are ridging and de-stoning over at East Winch for daff planting, which should start Monday, we hope. Meanwhile, I'm back at the yard doing odd jobs. And one of them is training pigeons how to weld. I've just made this little basket here, which is going to sit this toolbox under the trailer, just so the trailer's got somewhere to store some straps for when we get busy again with the boxes. So this isn't one of our mainline trailers. Usually the two main lines are the cane and the Larrington. Cane's over there, and the Larrington is actually around the corner on the John Deere in use, but we're just getting a little bit worried that we're going to need a third trailer this year for planting. So got a nice little plastic toolbox, weld that on the side. Job is a good one. So the pigeons are all happy, and what else have we got? Well, if we come on into the workshop, we have the Tulip Monster all geared up and ready to go on Daffodils. So the only thing that's left to do before we roll out is put the forks on, and that's it. So she's had a good clean. Simon's very good at cleaning. We've got all converted over, because for those who don't know, this is the same body, we'll say, same piece of equipment that plants all of our bulb crops. We just change the boats. So we're now on the daffodil boats, which were new last year, new setup. We hadn't done daffs with the Coops machine before, but it worked well. We've tweaked a few things and I'll show you them in a sec, but apart from that, she's ready and raring to go. So it's the same pipe setup that it is for everything else that this planter does. So I don't think I've ever shown in the back here, but isn't that just massive amounts of hydraulic pipes? So the main pumps that run I nearly called it hubs, at the planter, pumps bolted straight onto the PTO shaft. We've got height adjusting sensors here which activate these rams which are on the lift arms. Just a few things of how that operates. We've then got the controls on the back here, big hopper at the back, and counters all inside this unit, which is linked to this control box and that counting screen. And the only real modification we've made is around the back here, because this is a bit of a new system. We've had to make a few modifications. So at the back here we did have a big old spring, but instead this is the ram repurposed from the net cradle here that catches the net and loads it onto the spirals there. So we've repurposed that ram and we've just put taps on it, because that ram and the valve block that controls it over there is not really designed to keep depth. They're not very I don't really know how to describe it, but basically too much force on this ram is forcing the hood, which helps form the ridges. I'll show you the other side, but basically there's a bit of a lump like that and it just forces the soil into them mounds that you see for daffodils and potatoes. So the idea is this year, set it up and lock it off. So we've got two taps, so that should be good. And I'll just show you quickly how that works. There you are. You just got two. You got a scoop each side and one in the middle, and that's how you get your nice big mounds, like you do for potatoes. But yeah, good system. We like the Coops gear, and as usual, the Tulip Monster does look fantastic. Very excited to get a bit more work done with it. It does make everything planted with this is fantastic. It's just so easy. So much like contact with the floor, There's very little compaction. It just floats across fields. Even tram lines, it just glides. Absolutely worthwhile setting up like this. So let's go have a look outside, because I've got a bit of a disaster to show off as well. It's not that bad really. So this is a mudguard and a front grille from the John Deere 6310, which is one of our future classics that we're keeping. And there's the other mudguard. Can you see it's not quite right? So very occasionally the bolts will stretch in the mounts and pull out, and that's what happened here. So it stretched and pulled out, and annoyingly this got ran over. So we're now just gonna bend them back when the time is right. We've got a bit more time. And then this morning I had to take the other one off because that started to rattle. And you think, oh, the bolts are coming loose. No, they stretch. They're still in the holes tight. You snap the heads off as they come off. And literally the thread is just stretched like that. And even the mushroom of the head starts bulging out as well, because it's just pulling the holes until it snaps. Absolutely crackers. So the John Deere doesn't look too happy. Let's go have a look. There she is, and she looks like she needs some loving. It's a bit of a weird illusion, because without the mudguards on, the front wheels actually look a lot taller. Very strange illusion, but tyres are starting to get a little bit bald on the front really. But they should last us till the winter. They're not that bad. The bonnet I feel like is getting worse. The latch is now impossible to undo most of the time, and it doesn't actually sit square. So when we get the time, I'm really getting fidgety to do them jobs that I'd said about when she had a little bit of trouble. It was earlier this year or end of last year, I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, she's looking a bit sorry, but there's not really a lot to say about that. Oh, the grill is worse around here. What's happened there? Looks to me like somebody's tried pulling it, try and get the bonnet off, because that bonnet slides forward then up. So yeah. Oh, never mind. But yeah, might as well go have a look at the Barley. And here we are. This is my lovely great pile of barley. So I don't think I've really shown it off on much of a wide angle, but there's quite a lot going on. I'm really pleased with this. We're estimating we've got about 150 tonnes, and I have got very good news. We had the lab tested. I sent 5 samples, and they've all come back as malting barley. So for those of you who don't know, this is good enough to go and become beer. This is brewery spec, and that's why we've got the little blowers on at the top to keep the temperature right, because apparently keeping the temperature right is key to keeping the germination at the right level. I don't know a whole lot about brewing, but apparently for this to be right, I need nitrogen levels below 1.85%, and we scored 1.5-ish, give or take. It was around that mark. And germination needs to be above 98%. We scored 99. So that is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, really pleased with the pile. Keep trying to look after it just by running the fans. I've got them set up on a timer, so it's not doing too much during the day, but if it's particularly hot at the minute, so I'm coming around and flicking it on probably about 4 o'clock, and it switches itself off about 3 o'clock in the morning, I think I set it to, just so during the day when it heats up, we're not pulling hot air out to then replace it with hot air, because in the evenings it's always cooler. But yeah, I'm not going to pretend to sound like I'm an expert in storing crop. But this is just what I'm up to. This is what I'm trying to do. I think I'm doing... well, I know I'm doing the best I can be. I'm very pleased with what I'm doing. So the lorries will be turning up next week to take it away, and we're hoping that we'll have a little bit left over. Hopefully not too much, so that we need another lorry. That'd be a bit embarrassing, only organising so many. But yeah, there's the pile. And I tell you what, when them fans are going, there's an absolutely beautiful smell that comes with this. Anybody who's been in a grain store before probably knows the smell I'm on about, but it's just a really nice fresh sort of smell. It's all just kicking out from them fans. And I think I showed in the video the other day, by putting my hand over the outlet of them fans, you can feel the heat. And I am still checking on them fans, and it feels like it's getting less and less heat in the pile, but it's still definitely got that heat to it. So we're just keeping an eye on it. I'm moving the fans now and again, but I'm mainly concentrating at the back because that's where the bulk of the mound is. So yeah, that's all I've really got to say this Friday. Hope you all have had a very good harvest. I believe most people are done, certainly in this area. We've actually had some rain now, which come down absolute in spades. We've had some absolutely atrocious amounts of millimetres in like an hour. I think one farm local to us said they had like something like 57 mil an hour at the peak of it, which absolutely crackers. So yeah, glad we've finally got a bit of weather like that. But anyway, leave a comment, tell us how you got on. How was your harvest? Was you cooked alive in the heat wave? Have you been dying for this rain? You know, what's been happening to you guys? So you know, up in Lewis Eves, this is Norfolkfords. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow us on all the social medias, which are linked in the description. And thank you again for watching, and we will see you next week.